Hey, I'm back again. I probably should have rolled this into one video, but I wanted to show something different. I didn't want to show frequency drift this time. I wanted to show relative frequency between carriers. I'm Paul, W1VLF. Welcome back to the lab here. In one of the other videos, Rob N06B mentioned about the DTV pilot carriers being very close in frequency, a couple of hertz. And as it happens, there are 3 DTV carriers on channel 2, nominally 54.310 megahertz, that I can see from here. So the relationship between those is only a few hertz apart, as Rob said, and they all must be operating on GPS because they don't vary at all over the course of, let's see, this time it was 2 hours. I did a time lapse for 2 hours, and what you're going to see is the 3 carriers, and they're all different amplitudes because they're all coming from different directions, but you're going to see propagation affect each one of the carriers individually, or differently than the other 2 that are around it. One carrier is dominant, then there's a medium, a lower frequency, lower amplitude one, and then another amplitude one. But if you look at that over the course of the 2 hours, in this case you'll see 2 minutes, that relationship of frequency, a couple of hertz, doesn't shift at all. But what does shift is the propagation path between here and the station. One carrier will come way up out of the noise and another one will drop into the noise, all on the same frequency, but all coming from different directions. So it's quite interesting to see that over time. But the other thing here is that relationship between those 3 carriers stays perfectly stable. The other thing is the whole group of carriers stays exactly stable because that R2 is locked to GPS. And the other thing here is these, we're looking at a 10 hertz bandwidth. Okay, so to the left, to the right of the line is only 5 cycles. So it's really quite amazing. Actually, the stations are all within 8 hertz, within an 8 hertz window. I happen to set the bandwidth of the filter to be extremely narrow, so we'd have some guidelines on the outside so you could visually see that. But watch for frequency changes. You won't see any, but that amplitude over the course of a couple hours really changes. Some carriers will go very close to the noise. Another one will come screaming up out of the noise, all at the same time. So you're going to see carrier, moving up and down. Something similar to what you might see if you looked across a big span of the shortwave band, where some carriers were, drifting higher and lower. So anyway, let's go over to the Ham Shack computer and do that. I guess I should have put this all into one video, but what the hell. Well. So, as I said before, enough jibber-jabbering. Let's head over to the computer.